future governments can always change course for whatever reason, for whatever priority. What sort of long-term assurance can you really give these institutions going forward? And is there an explanation also of the long-term, the clear line of sight of the capital works going into the future, so that buckets and towels aren't used into the future?
Well, if people keep voting Labor, they'll keep getting a government that supports the arts and culture. That's the first guarantee that's there. And it's a serious point. It's a serious point. The track record of the former government in presiding over a budget that had $1 trillion of debt, it wasn't as if they weren't into spending money. If you look at what last year's March budget did, buckets of money, but there were buckets of water in this building at the same time. And it is about making sure that, not just here, but one of the things we've been dealing with, I think I'm allowed to say, Katie, ERC's been meeting for the last 2 days, we met last week, every week, is dealing with areas like cyber safety. Do we really think we're going to abolish that organisation headed by Julie Inman-Grant on June 30? The community services funding in the Northern Territory drops off, zero, post June 30. We raised these issues in Parliament last week in question time in a number of answers. In so many areas, there simply wasn't funding going forward. And in the case of the national institutions, there wasn't funding in order to fix what needed to be fixed. Now, going forward, my government is providing some real certainty with today's announcement. There obviously will be future advocacy for funding that will be dealt with on its merits. But what the importance of today's announcement is that for these, I haven't counted them all up, is there 9? 9 institutions going forward. They do have that certainty over 4 years. There's not a drop-off and then a pathway to future funding. If you get that certainty, one of the things about people here, and I want to single out just because they're close up here, people like Penny and Ryan, they're not chairs of these institutions because they want to get a trip to Canberra. They are people who are contributing as part of their contribution to Australian society. And I pay tribute to them and others, philanthropists who are committing their own dollars and their own time to make a difference. But they shouldn't do it. This isn't a charity. That's why this funding certainty is so important. Now, I'd continue to encourage philanthropy and investment in ways that makes a difference for our nation. But we see that with people stepping up. Today's announcement will provide that certainty.